Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Calciomercato news. Lots of names being thrown out there. Koopmeiners, Juve, Zirkzee, Milan, Chiesa Napoli. Will it all happen? And in the ultima hora is that PSG and Napoli are talking about Osimhen. Could it happen? We'll talk about everything. So let's start right away with Juventus. Juventus, three big names on the docket for them. The first one, of course, is Koopmeiners. He's the dream at centrocampo. So a bit of a distance between what Atalanta evaluates him at 60, 70 million euros and what Juventus evaluates him about 50 million euros. We're probably going to meet somewhere in the middle. Juventus trying to add some players in the deal to bring down the cash value. Keane, Ealing Jr., those are the players that are being talked about. Is Atalanta actually interested in any of them? It remains to be seen, but that's the big sogno at centrocampo. The other big name is Douglas Luiz. Douglas Luiz, Aston Villa, 60 million euros, a tough centrocampista. Even here, Juventus trying to insert McKennie to try and bring down the cash amount. McKennie, unfortunately, they can't reach a deal on the new contract. There's a bit of distance about what he's asking and what they want to give him. So he could be an important piece to the puzzle if he decides to accept, if Aston Villa decides to accept. So we'll see. But Douglas Luiz, Koopmeiners would be a great centrocampo. Like, it would be a very tough centrocampo. And the other big name is Di Lorenzo. Di Lorenzo, who said that he wanted to leave Napoli. There's nothing to do. He doesn't want to stay. Napoli evaluates him between 25 and 30 million euros. And they're saying that he might be in a deal for Chiesa. Could it actually happen? In my opinion, Chiesa is now worth 30 million euros. I think he's worth a lot more. But newspapers in Italy are saying that because of his term on his contract, which I think only has one more year, they can renew him. And from the fact that he was injured a lot the last couple of seasons, his value could be around 30 million euros. So we'll see what happens. In my opinion, I think Napoli would have to dish out some cash too. I don't think it's enough for Chiesa, but that is the big rumor right now. Speaking of Chiesa, Roma looking at Chiesa, he is the dream. He is the dream for the attacco. Could it actually happen? It's a lot of money for Roma, who usually don't spend that much on one single player. Now, they might make an exception, but they might also make the exception for Sule. Sule, who is on top of the Roma desire list, a very good season with Frosinone. Juventus asking 30 million euros for him. Not nothing, but he is one of those young talents that I think is definitely worth it. They're also looking at Suslov from Verona, who had a great season at Centrocampo for them, 7 million euros. And Bellanova for the right wing from Torino, 20 million euros. We know that le ali alla Roma fanno schifo and they need somebody, and Bellanova could be that answer. Milan very active. Apparently they are very close, but very close to signing Zirkzee. The number one objective from the beginning of the Calciomercato season. There's been a million names thrown out there, but he's always been the favorite. And apparently they're willing to pay the 40 million euro clause. They already have a deal in place with him. 4.5 million euros a season for 5 seasons. The only thing missing is the deal with the agent. He wanted 15 million euros of commissione. They're trying to bring it down. Milan not willing more than 9. So they're probably going to meet in the middle somewhere. They already have an appointment with him in London this week. Hopefully they can close it out. They're also looking at Broja from Chelsea, a parallel thing, not in replacement of Zirkzee. Those would be the two new strikers for next season. Emerson Royal and Matt Cash are the two players being looked at for the right-hand side right now. Both worth about 20 million euros. Could it actually happen? Emerson Royal could be very interesting. I don't know too much Matt Cash. So those are the two names for the right-hand side. We spoke about Napoli. We talked about Chiesa. There's also Osimhen. He is leaving. And apparently in the last couple of hours, De Laurentiis has spoken with PSG. They're negotiating the release clause because apparently PSG doesn't want to pay the 130 million euros. Not a lot of teams do. A lot of people don't think he's worth that much money. He's a very good striker, but is he really worth 130 million euros? That remains to be seen. And so the big replacement would be Kalulu. No, Lukaku, not Kalulu. Kalulu is a defender from Milan. Lukaku up front, 45 million euro release clause, but Chelsea are fed up of loaning him around. They want money. So we'll see what happens in that case. But Lukaku, Vara, and Chiesa would scare pretty much anybody in Serie A with Conte as a coach. Inter up front already have Taremi. They're looking to bring in somebody else, but only if they can get rid of Arnautovic and Gudmundsson, Arnautovic could be interested in moving to Fiorentina. They're looking at him. It's not a done deal. It's very far. It's just exploratory information stage. But in case that they would leave, Gudmundsson from Genoa would be the objective. 20 million euros at least for Genoa. So a big investment there, but the other two need to leave. Speaking of Inter, they're looking for a second to Sommer. The names being thrown out there are Bento, Martinez from Genoa, Okoye from Udine, and Mandas from Lazio. Those would be the seconds for Sommer. And finally, Fiorentina, who aren't happy with the strikers they have. Basically, Beltran and Zola well below expectations, and so the big name being thrown at Fiorentina is Retegui. Yes, Retegui, valued about 20 million euros from Genoa, Italian international, will be part of the European, the Euros as well. So he would be the big objective for Fiorentina up front. And the last rumor that is out there is that Bologna won't exercise their buying option on Salzburger. So he would be going back to Milan, but very short-lived, because apparently Juventus and Thiago Motta could be interested. A favorite of Thiago Motta. Could it actually happen? Maybe. We'll see. Let me know what you think around the comments. Like and subscribe, guys. Have a great day. Calciomercato is here. Love it.